it's about loneliness and solitude. So loneliness and solitude are two different things. Could you expand on this further? Which one is better? Is it better to be in solitude or in love, as stated by others, for example, Shams?
I think loneliness has a negative connotation. Um, Loneliness is to do with being unhappy or sad. Loneliness doesn't come by choice, and also doesn't have a purpose. So there are generally negative reasons for being lonely. One can. It's also possible that one reaches that stage where one wants to be detached from the world and from the people, and that loneliness, that form of loneliness, is very different. But generally, as we know, loneliness, that is something negative. Whereas solitude is basically positive. It has a reason. There is a purpose behind it, and it is about being happy, and it is about being contented, because you want to be in solitude for a purpose, and generally the purpose of being in solitude is to uh, to know God and to become closer to Him. And so you want to be detached from the world, and you want to spend more time in God's remembrance, so that you can become closer to Him. Whereas in when you are lonely, then obviously you are in a negative. The state is completely different, and you are in a negative state, and obviously you actually need help, rather than you can do something to become. Yes, loneliness may actually help you to realize, if you think positively, if you are able to analyze the reasons for being lonely, then you can realize that it is important to become closer to God, and then you can change, and you can then do something about it. But generally, when you are lonely, then this loneliness increases with time, and it becomes bad with time. It becomes worse with time, and people generally need a different kind of help, maybe medical help, or help from a psychologist or a psychiatrist to overcome these issues. So loneliness is something negative, whereas solitude is something positive. It's for a reason, it's with a purpose, and you achieve something positive out of solitude. Now, love is the ultimate thing. Being in love with, and I'm here, when we talk about love, we are talking about divine love, not like earthly love. So being in love is the ultimate thing. So you want to be in love with God. So that means you reach that stage, you are in absolute love with God, and that is for solitude is the means to reach that level where you are in love with God. So we know about Hazrat Rumi. Uh, these days, this whirling dervish, that dance is very popular, and people think that this is a practice. Actually, it was not. It was not his practice. He used to do different spiritual practices, and then because of the blessings that he used to receive, he felt very close to God. And in those moments of ecstasy, being in union with God, he used to dance and sing. And so those were the feelings, because he felt in love, and he felt in close contact with God, and that's why he was so happy that he used to, in that state, he used to dance and sing. So uh, love is much higher than solitude. Solitude is the means to achieve that state of love, and love is something which is, obviously, with time it increases. You increase your love with God, and then ultimately you want to be in, just like we say that we want to be in constant remembrance of God. Similarly, we want to be in constant state of constant love with Him. So that is a higher state, and solitude is the means or an, um, a way to achieve that.